Hey guys, welcome back. Jared Townsend here. I thought I'd just make a video today to kind of talk about the whole Joe Biden vice presidential pick kind of thing. And what we're going to talk about today is a couple of things. But first I want to give you a thanks to all the media members who have given me great coverage over the last year or so here. WNEM TV5 in Saginaw, Adrian Broadus, great job. WEYI TV, Clio, Michigan. Flint Journal, Sheena Abercrombie, thank you. WHN and Oldies 96 Radio in Saginaw, Michigan, Johnny Burke. Detroit Free Press, Jim Schaefer, great job. Reese's Magazine in Washington, D.C. LA Times, and many more who I really didn't get a chance to talk to directly, but they kind of covered my story. I want to thank you guys all for the great coverage that you provided for me. Back to this Joe Biden thing, I think everybody wants to know how I feel about him being the vice presidential pick for the Democratic side. And I want to say I am excited because this is going to be great. I just can't wait for him to open his big mouth and say something he shouldn't, and for Barack to get mad. It's just going to be fun to watch. I really think so. And, but we'll get to that in a minute. I just want to say a shout out to Alan Hoffman, who is the chief of staff for Senator Biden. Now that he's the presidential pick, I'm waiting for my phone call, Alan, because I want him to come to Michigan. I'm still waiting. Even though I don't believe that I should believe what any politician says, you really can't take it for what he says. You kind of just have to watch it. I'm still watching you. And I'll catch everything that Joe Biden does wrong during this, and it will be right here on YouTube. So, don't make me call you. You call me. You said you would. We'll see if you do. I'm not going to hold my breath, but if you do, hey, that's great. I'm in Michigan, and when you get here, we'll meet up. Just don't make me leave your phone number here on YouTube for everybody to call you, but that's another issue. But anyway, Biden really can't keep his mouth shut. I mean, this is just going to be fun. I guess everybody kind of left last year about, what he said to me, and I really don't care. But I just wanted to get my question answered, and I guess I did. I know where he stands. He's going to take my guns away. So if Barack gets in office, this is kind of a keep Barack alive type of venue, because if something happens to Barack Obama, Joe Biden becomes president, our guns are gone. I'm sorry, but our guns are gone, and we can't let that happen. But, and then this whole other thing about, Barack doesn't have enough experience, so Joe Biden comes in and fills that hole. Well, we're electing Barack Obama president, not Joe Biden. So regardless of Joe Biden, Barack should still have the experience, wouldn't you think? Well, that's not how everybody else sees it, but I guess that's how people think, So I'm not sure about that, but, if Joe Biden is such a great pick, I heard a quote the other night on Larry King Live on CNN from a gentleman by the name of Ed Schultz. And I apologize if I'm looking down, I'm just reading, but he said, this is a first-round draft pick we got here, Joe Biden. And my question to him would be, if it's such a first-round draft pick, why didn't he get drafted first in the first round? Barack Obama kind of is the presidential candidate, Joe Biden's the vice presidential candidate, so I'm kind of confused here. Maybe he wasn't good enough? Yeah, I think so. I think he wasn't good enough. It's Joe Biden we're talking about here. Needs somebody a little more clean. This whole thing about safe states and battleground states and red and blue and all this stuff. I mean, come on, get over it. We're trying to elect a president, and you guys are acting like this is a civil war, and you're going to cover it like it's, the NBA Finals or something. I mean, this is ridiculous. Let's just show the issues and show the whole side of things. I mean, the media is supposed to be non-biased, and I know a lot of media, particularly national media, that don't see it that way. They like to pick their side and run with it, but, hey, whatever, And I guess some questions I've been getting asked is about a slander suit for Joe Biden. And, I have 6 years to decide that. That's the statute of limitations on slander, so, I don't think I'm ready to do that yet. Although, if he ever becomes president one day, hey, that might just be the perfect time. But, we'll talk about that more. Now, I'm sitting here in front of my gun safe, and a lot of you know I'm obviously into guns. And I just wanted to say a couple things, explain a couple things more. I've got some questions on my last video. I I bought my AR-15 right here. Bought this during Joe Biden's gun ban that he's so famous for and written and all that. The ban was from 1994 to 2004, and this gun was purchased in 2003, and there's the receipt right there. I'm going to wave it so you don't get my serial number. But, you know, this whole thing about Joe Biden just being mad, you can kind of tell his kind of demeanor when we left that debate that night. He was kind of just upset that the gun ban had sunset and now these guns are falling in the hands of all these bad people. Well, I got news for you, Joe. You don't know crap about guns, otherwise I wouldn't have been able to buy this during the ban. I mean, come on. You're going to ban cosmetic features on a firearm, okay? The only thing I changed on this gun was this buttstock right here. That's it. I've added a scope and a bipod. I have changed nothing else to the actual gun, you know, but people don't get that. And another thing people say is, oh my gosh, this semi-automatic rifle that I pulled out, you know, and it's amazing how many people don't understand what that is. Semi-automatic means one bullet per one trigger pull. There's, you know, it's not full automatic or nothing like that. And let me just show you something else here. There's probably 4 times as many of these in America as there is those AR-15s. This is a .22 rifle. This gun right here is semi-automatic. So when I pull the trigger, one bullet comes out. Semi-automatic means you just don't have to reload and reload and reload. You can just pull the trigger and pull the trigger again, and the next round is readily available to you. There are probably millions and millions and millions of these rifles in American homes today. But yet nobody criticizes these because it doesn't look so mean. You know, it looks kind of honey, kind of sporty. Whereas this big black rifle is so mean, you know, it's just out for bad and, you know, look out because I'm going to, you know, conquer the world. And, you know, everybody just jumps all over it. And I just don't get it. So maybe someday somebody will realize that they don't know what they're talking about, Joe Biden. And when you write a gun ban, you may take somebody that knows about guns and, you know, I understand there has to be laws and has to be restrictions about guns, and there are. You know, this whole thing about fully automatic weapons, there hasn't been fully automatic weapons since I've been around. And there actually hasn't been fully automatic weapons since my dad has been around. That ban has started in 1934 and is still in existence. So, unless you have a Type 2 FFL, Federal Firearms License, you will not buy a fully automatic weapon. Okay? And people just don't understand. You know, they see a gun like that and they just go spout off, and that's just the way they can be. But, you know, it's not all about guns. It's about principle. Okay? If you're going to say something, know what you're talking about. Just know what you're talking about. Okay? Am I mentally unstable? Here's my CCW permit. I'm a law-abiding citizen just like everybody else. I pay my taxes. I pay my bills. I have a job. You know, I abide by the law. What else am I supposed to do? You know, and I guess another thing is, here's the round that comes out of that gun, the AR-15, that's so big and bad and black. And, you know, it's just a little tiny bullet. That little black piece is all that comes out. And yet, you know, the guns everybody has in America, that little black piece on top of there comes out. And this is actually, these are the same size bullet. But nobody talks about that. Everybody just talks about this AR-15, this assault rifle. Well, in my eyes, I don't think it's an assault rifle anymore because there's no more assault weapons banned to classify it as one. So, you know, it's kind of a catch-22 there. But, you know, it's one of those things that nobody knows what they're talking about. Joe Biden had a staff, if he even wrote the assault weapons ban, he had a staff that looked in a bunch of books, picked out what rifles looked bad, and said, we're going to ban these. You know, and then there's another thing about, you know, let's hold the gun manufacturers liable. Well, let me ask you a question. If somebody drove drunk down the road and killed one of your relatives, do you think we'd be suing Chevrolet? I don't think so. It doesn't work that way. You sue who's responsible, the driver. So why are we going after gun manufacturers when they're not responsible? They're making quality firearms to put in people's homes for people to enjoy. Okay? And a small percentage of those people, whether it be legal or not, obtained the gun and used it in a crime. That's why we have a problem in America. It's not because of the law-abiding citizens, it's because of the criminals. And too many people are going to take the law-abiding citizen and punish them because we have a problem.